Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to spend your Thursday evening with us. And for some of you, we know it's a little bit later since you're on a different time zone. So we definitely appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. We're looking forward to celebrating all of our graduates. And so a quick note and reminder, we did create special Zoom backgrounds specifically for this event. You can find those in the chat. And if not, we can also go ahead and put those up as well. In addition to that, we encourage you to help us celebrate everybody using the chat, using your reactions, using all of that. As you all know, Zoom has some limitations, but it also allows us to get a little bit creative. And then the last thing, we also encourage you to feel free to share any of your posts, information, any of that on social media. We created specific hashtags for the event. And we also created, you can also tag us and we can go ahead and repost you. So I will now go ahead and hand it off to Dr. Kimberly Freeman, who is the Dean of Diversity at the USC Dornsife School, and she is also a great support and oversees this program. So I definitely appreciate her for all her ongoing support. So Kimberly, do you want to go ahead and kick us off?
Sure, and let me just say that I do not oversee this program. I am Flavio's supervisor, but he certainly is the glue that holds the TGS program together. So really, we would not have a program without his undying devotion to you students and to all of our members of the network. So we want to make sure that the proper credit is given. Thank you everyone for having me here this evening. Congratulations to our graduates. It's wonderful to be sharing in this momentous time with all of you. It's not easy to graduate from college, be it at the undergrad level or a graduate level. It is certainly quite an accomplishment. And so I first want to give everyone a round of applause for graduating. I also want to do a land acknowledgement. Tonight, we acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Tongva people and their neighbors whose ancestors ruled this region we now call Southern California for at least 9,000 years. We pay respect to the members and elders of these communities, past and present, who remain stewards, caretakers, and advocates of these lands, river systems, and the water and islands of the Santa Barbara Channel. And as Flavio mentioned, I am the Chief Diversity Officer for USC Dornsife. That gives me an opportunity to have my hands in a lot of different initiatives that are really about making sure we have a diverse and inclusive community within our liberal arts college. And so it's my pleasure to be able to support him as he works tirelessly on behalf of our Trojan Guardian Scholars, as well as his colleague, Disha Mahindra, who is also overseeing many programs and initiatives to support diversity in our college. Tonight, I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker, and I have her bio, so I'm going to just flip over to it. And if it's okay, Flavio, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our keynote speaker. She is Kara C. Allen, MSW EDD. Dr. Kara C. Allen, who uses the pronoun she, her, ea, is an unequivocal believer in young people and the adults who uplift them. Kara also serves as Chief Executive Officer of Umoja. Umoja is a national social impact organization whose work focuses on adult capacity building as the primary vehicle for creating safe, inclusive, and restorative spaces. Kara brings to Umoja 15 years of experience working to disrupt and reimagine systems that thrive through injustice. Most recently, Kara served as the president and CEO of a nonprofit that supports young people impacted by the foster care system and housing insecurity through their journey to thriving and self-sufficiency. Kara also serves on the board of directors of CoachArt, the Wayfarer Foundation, and is working alongside local leaders to support the Chicago launch of Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health. Now, there's a few more things in her bio that are quite interesting, including where she earned her degrees. But I think I like the last sentence here the most. Kara is a grateful mother to a UC Davis medical student and to a Chicago public school second grader. You can also ask Kara all about sneakers, biking, and the best donut spots in town. So I'd love to have a conversation about all three. And with that, I want to welcome Kara. Thank you for coming this evening, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, graduates, and hello, friends and neighbors and family. I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me to share this phenomenal moment with you. And Ms. Freeman, thank you for the introduction. You are correct. The last line is truly the only line that really matters. Before we get started really quickly, thank you to the Trojan Guardian Scholars team and board. You all do the investing in and the pouring in behind the scenes and between all the takes. And so we see you. And thank you to USC's School of Social Work, not alone because I am an honored and grateful alum, but also because you all remain so deeply committed to doing the work. We appreciate you. And thank you to friends and family and friends who become family. You are the rocks and the late nights and the early mornings and the tears and the hugs and the in-betweens. We love you. And now, most importantly, thank you to each of you, the graduates of 2021. Thank you for showing up. I don't mean here in this moment, but I mean for life, for all of it, for the moments that seem big and for the moments that seem small. Thank you for waking up. Thank you for going to work. Thank you for finishing the exam. Thank you. All right, now let me tell you something. Speeches don't really scare me, but do you want to know the most anxiety-provoking space on the planet? It is here, right here. I don't have anything brilliant to tell you all that you don't already know. And while I do love school, the reality is everything I've learned is because you all taught me. You see, you are the story. It's like asking Candace Parker or LeBron James how to play basketball and then make it inspiring. The thing is, you are the story. You are the goat, you are the party, you are the light. But alas, I got quite a few minutes left here. So my invitation for us is let's share in some good and loving celebratory space together. Let's consider this a celebration of not forgetting what you all already know. Let's consider this a celebration of releasing the things that no longer serve you and embracing the things that fill you up. And let's truly overflow each of you with the necessary and organic dopamine, the joy. All right, so here's how we're going to get started. If you are a graduate, I need you to just drop a number in the chat between 1 and 225, okay? 1 and 225, 95, Alejandro, thank you. Okay, this is a book called Inward by Young Pueblo. Here we go. All right. Alejandro, this is your page forever now. I'm gonna put your name on it and the date in just a minute. Progress is being aware when there is a storm happening inside of you and remaining calm as it passes by. And so I offer you that as not something I can plan, but rather something that all of us recognize. And if anybody knows in this planet, it's you all, right? It's you all that know that the storm will pass by, we stay calm, and we keep going. And so thanks for that little somatic moment. Here's the thing. This is it. It is an honor to hold space with you all. A space with you all who know the storm and know the sunshine better than most. You are kind of the whole world, you know? I mean, you're the world to me now. But listen, between you, all of us in the Trojan family get to celebrate 7 undergraduates, 8 graduate students, 3 students who are graduating with their second degree from SC. This is the first year that someone's graduating with their doctorate. We've got comms and poli-sci and law and public policy and business administration and human development and aging and psych and cinematic arts and film and television production and ed counseling and public admin and physical therapy. And a quarter of you are going out into the world with an MSW, and one of you has a baby. If one of you is a parent, that's incredible. There's so much difference within you all, right? And there's a bond. That bond, well, I want to share something with you, right? Like we embrace now this language folks talk about of lived experience. And that's language to capture humans who have an interaction with this system that we call child welfare or foster care. I'm here for that title, lived experience. Here's why. Do you know that some people live their whole lives without truly being alive? Do you know that some people's story was written with no pivots or no shifts and no unexpected turns, just handouts? Do you know that you, by no fault of your own, were required to wake up fully every single day and live and fully live? You are so fully and deeply alive that there are people who never know that feeling. So should you choose to write a book about your experience, and should you choose to never tell anyone about your experience, and should you choose to vacillate between those two pieces by the hour or by the day or by the environment, know that you all share this power to truly have lived every painful and beautiful day. And how about this? You've done it when it's rainy and when it's sunny, and when it's a global pandemic, and when giving up had the greatest price tag on it, for sale. And it looked so much easier than any day you had to conquer. You stayed, you showed up, you lived. You might actually be the only ones to tell us all about that lived experience. So thank you. So amidst all the beautiful different that you all have, I'm curious if we can root ourselves in together, each of us, a few shared pieces of this beautiful wild life. I kept thinking of some like creative way or original way that I could share with you. But there's this children's book that I read to my youngest and that I just sent to my oldest, who happens to also have decided to join this call from UC Davis, but also who shares a link that you all share and is in medical school now. I promise I will not bedside read a whole children's story from cover to cover with you. You see, there's this thing about this story though, our stories. It's our road. It's ours to walk. And if we walk our roads and we live our stories and we ask questions you each answer daily. What if I get scared? What if I change? What if something unexpected happens? So this is it. What if I get scared? That is okay. You are brave, said the road. But what does it mean to be brave? I asked. The road guided me through a very gloomy forest. Even though I was frightened, I trusted the road. And as I took one step and then another step, after that, the road gently whispered, being brave is when you are afraid of doing something, but you do it anyway. Do not let what scares you keep you from continuing on your path. You see, I was sitting in a school not too long ago, and a fourth grader was escorted out of her classroom, and an adult asked me if I could talk to her, and being the stranger in that space that I was, I said yes. And I asked her why she was getting taken out of class, and she said I wasn't sitting on my chair the right way. And I said, is that why you got asked to leave? And she said, no, it's because the teacher was doing too much. And so I said things I shouldn't have said back. And so we're sitting on those super wide wooden, like uncomfortable library chairs, right? And I paused for a minute and I said a little bit quieter, do you want to talk about what's really going on? And she said, like so many of us this year, I lost someone a few weeks ago, but these adults here don't know because they don't care. And then a little bit later, this 8th grader walked in and he had been asked to leave class and he was having trouble finding words for the anger he was feeling. So I asked him if he could turn his music down a little bit. And he said, you're not going to ask me to take my headphones off? And I said, no, it seems like you need them. And so then he took both the headphones off and he said, what? And I said, it seems like you need them. And he said, I do. Yes, I do. There's a lot going on in my brain. And when everyone outside is loud, then it gets louder inside too. And then we talked about his ears start burning and his throat gets tight and his heart starts racing. And the hood was like a cocoon and the headphones controlled the noises outside so he could focus on the noises on the inside. And then the fourth grader said, "Me too." And they glanced at each other and smiled. And here's the thing. This is their road. This is your road too. We get to choose to care. We get to choose to ask questions. We get to choose to listen wherever we are. All of us are strangers, sure, but we are also each other. We are each other. We are the light in each other's light. We are the dark in each other's dark. And if we move around the world, choosing to give each other's dark spaces some time and some space to find their own road and give each other's light some fuel to keep shining on the road, then maybe we can find some space and some room for each other to grow and be. We don't need to write each other's stories. I do believe it's the honor of our lifetimes to love each other's full, whole stories. To love each other's past, and even, and most especially, and always when it seems like it might not have been the right path, or it might not have been the path we took, especially when it might not have worked out, we still get to keep finding or making the road. And so here's the thing, I hope you don't unlearn this. I didn't know this. I learned this from you all. You all do this, so don't unlearn it because we aren't strangers. We're road walkers together. You're just the ones who are most alive in doing it. What if I change? What if I change? Come with me, said the road. And as I moved forward, the road introduced me to a caterpillar and a family of seeds. We did not stay long. The road began taking me on a journey through the seasons. I watched summer turn to fall and fall turn to winter. And as spring was upon us, I realized we had gone in one big circle. I looked down and found I was standing in front of the caterpillar and the seeds once more. Only the caterpillar was no longer a caterpillar. And the seeds had turned to flowers of every color swaying in the sun. The road then raised up and said, "All things grow and change. That is the magic of being alive. You too will find your wings. You too will bloom. No living thing is meant to stay the same." And so it's true. You are magic, and this is a bloom. This is your bloom. But rest assured, this is not your only bloom. You get to grow and change however you choose to grow and change. I remember I took a job once and it was a dream job. And I, I learned a lot. So it still is the dream job, but I changed. And I realized that for me to show up whole in that space meant it would be something different than what folks wanted me to show up in that space. And so I let myself grow and change. And I learned that I need to work places where I can show up whole in the new self that I was. And for you, the same, that you will enter a space certain it is the space to be, and it is for that moment. And keep checking in with yourself because the road you walk changes. The flowers bloom, you bloom. So what I can say is to go bloom and be alive. And I dream you do that. Go bloom and be all alive. What if something unexpected happens? Keep going. What if there are mountains that feel too tall to climb? What if there are rivers that feel too wide to cross? What if I get my heart broken? What if I feel stuck? What if giving up is easier? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, said the road. So I donated a kidney a little while ago, and it still seems quite obvious to me. I had something to share that worked and somebody needed it, and I intend on leaving empty, so here. And later I met the person who got my kidney, and then a lot of things changed in my world really fast. I watched this human come alive again. Even in his darkest moments, it was wild to see how he kept going. He kept going. Against all odds, he kept going. With 2 young children at home, he kept going. Not knowing when he would take the next breath or the last breath, he kept going. And so that's it. What an unbelievable honor it is to be the fuel or the light for someone. It might not be a kidney, but it is you. It is your love. It is your friendship. It is your commitment. It's your commitment to your whole humanhood, your whole and beautiful and sometimes broken self. We all are. You keep going. Please don't ever unlearn that. And so with that, I promise I will not read you all the rest of the pages of this book. But the thing is, you know the answers. You wrote this book. You wrote it in how you wake up, and you wrote it in how you take the exam, and you wrote it in how you show up for work. By the way, I should probably tell you, it's called What the Road Is by Cleo Wade. This is yours. And so naturally, I'm excited to share the book with you, but I want you to know it is also coming to you in the form of a gift card from my favorite Black-owned small bookstore called Semicolon. You'll get it in your email, and in that email, you'll also receive a form of this book as read by a couple friends of mine who wanted to celebrate this day with you. And so now, while I'd love to keep telling you all the things you all already know, that you teach all of us who learn how to be alive and more alive every day, and while I hope and I can beg of you to never unlearn and never forget the things that got you here, it's probably about time for me to stop talking. And so instead, I'm going to ask you one more thing. Ready? Give me one more page. Oh, Lorraine, I'm going to take 200. Okay, here we go. This is putting a lot of faith in poetry. Ready? I held my fear by the hand, honored its existence, and thanked it for teaching me that happiness exists beyond the boundaries it creates. Poetry works, all right? Happiness does exist for each of you, and thank you for choosing to show up when it seems like happiness might not exist. You're still here. The universe conspires with us. I promise you really are the story. You're the story and the goat and the party and the light, and you did it. I hope you know, I know you are here on purpose. I hope you embrace your road. I dream you all the love and connection. I wish you to be surrounded by grateful, curious, and people. Wow, ready? I wish you'd be surrounded by grateful, curious, and peaceful people. I am here as a resource for anything I've got, and I'm honored to hold this space with you. Congratulations. Carry on and fight on. You are all such beautiful lights. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Allen. And so now, following that great speech, we will go ahead, and I have the honor of introducing all of our graduating seniors who will be graduating with their graduate degree. Every one of our graduates will get the opportunity to say a few words. So they've been warned ahead of time. So anybody that gets nervous, hopefully they got some notes for them. But they know that this is their space, and you know, again, a reminder to them that this is your space. This is your opportunity to share with us whatever it is that you wish to share with us, and we appreciate you for being here. So our first graduating student is Alejandro De La Torre. Alejandro is actually graduating with his second master's in 2 years from USC. This second master's is his Master of Public Health. Whenever you're ready, Alejandro.
Can I go next? Sorry.
Yeah. If you're not ready, we can come back to you afterwards, no worries. Our next graduate is Brenda Lepe. She is graduating with her Master's of Education in School Counseling. Unfortunately, she was not able to join us today. Next up, we have Christina Ruiz. Christina is also one of our other students that is graduating with her second degree from USC. Her first degree was last year. She graduated with her bachelor's in public policy, and now she's graduating with her master's of public administration. Christina, whenever you're ready.
Sure. Hi, folks. Yeah, so I was a progressive master's degree student. So I got my progressive my undergrad at Price with public policy, and then my progressive master's this year simultaneously in public administration. I'm going to be speaking later tonight, but I just wanted to thank everybody that is in attendance today. It's just so great to see everybody's faces during this unfortunate time that we've been apart, but I look forward to connecting further with all of you guys and seeing everybody continue their journey and keep kicking ass and keep moving mountains and keep being movers and shakers. And I'm just so happy that we all get to be here today just to celebrate our success, because we really did it. So I'm so proud of us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Our next graduate is Denisia Aguaro, and she is graduating with her Master's of Social Work.
Woo!
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Denisia. I actually just wanted to thank the program in general. The constant support, the constant check-ins. It reminded me every time I would see an email like, how are you? It would just remind me to sit down, reflect, and just collect. So thank you again for the constant and continuous support. It was really helpful during this time.
Awesome, thank you. Our next graduate is Isabel Castillo. Isabel is another student that is graduating with her second master's, so with her second degree. So she is a progressive degree student as well. So last year she graduated with her bachelor's. This year she's graduating with her Master of Science in Journalism. And then Isabel wasn't able to join us today, so we'll go on to our next student. Jay Bostick is graduating with her Master's of Social Work. Unfortunately, she was unable to join us as well. Our next graduate is Lorraine Cohen. She is graduating with her Master's of Social Work, and I think I had seen Lorraine here. So Lorraine, whenever you're ready.
I'm here. I didn't prepare anything, so I might be all over the place. I'm just, I don't know, I guess super proud of myself and everybody else that is here. It was not easy. It was rough to get here. I do have a bachelor's in social work as well, and I just went straight into my master's from undergrad because I wanted to make more of a difference at first on, you know, like a macro level, to where I'm kind of making a difference in the systems. But I don't know, I kind of fell in love with therapy, and I got hired from my internship. So I'm a part-time therapist, and so I could build my caseload up and work on my licensure. So those are my plans. And I don't know, I don't have anything to say. I'm glad that we're able to, you know, complete one of these major goals and accomplishments, and we're able to kind of beat the odds and, you know, not be the statistics we've been, you know, so familiar with. So, and I also want to thank the Guardian Scholars program. I haven't been in it that long, but the little time I have been in, I have seen a lot of support, more support than I've had throughout the whole program. So a big thank you. And I appreciate what you do for us.
You're on mute, Flavio.
Thank you so much. Although we've been on Zoom for a whole year, sometimes I still forget that. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll restart again. So our next graduate is Dr. Mitch Hamlin. So Mitch is actually making TGS history by being the first student within our program to graduate with his doctorate of physical therapy. So this is something that's very exciting for him, for us, for our program, and we know he definitely will not be the last doctorate graduate student. We have a few students in attendance that are currently working on their PhD as well. So we look forward to celebrating other doctoral candidates. And I believe Mitch wasn't able to join us. So we will go on to our next one. But before we go on to our undergraduates, I just want to take a step back and check in with Alejandro, see if he's feeling ready to go. And if not, we can come back to you at another point as well. It's completely up to you.
I'm ready. I'm sorry. So yeah, I don't know. I just got really emotional from that photo as a kid. This is actually the only photo I have from like the time when my entire adoption process started. So that's actually the photo I have for my file. But yeah, but I don't know. I just think that like I'm in a position now that is kind of a little bit way up there than what I expected to ever be in. But yeah, it was a lot of hard work. And I only got into this into like, well, I got my first master's in social work, and then I felt like I needed more, so I applied for a dual degree program, and then I ended up choosing public health for other personal reasons and from like my overall experience with like my own health and then the health of my family members or whatnot. But I know ultimately like I've had to like take so many steps back and just think about the things that I wanted accomplished with my degrees and why I chose what I wanted to. And it ultimately is just like to help children and adolescents like live a better life, specifically like foster youth and children who have like so much adversity, just so that they won't ever be in a position where it's like there's no support out there or like making the mistakes that I once made and then I had to like pick myself up from. So overall, I just think that I don't know, I've been really blessed with using my own adversities as like, I don't know, it's my own strength. I'm sorry, I'm in Mexico and it was like last minute visit, so there's like so many freaking flies around me. But but yeah, congratulations to everyone. I'm sorry for being emotional, but I did take a step back and I did cry a bit, but yeah, thank you.
No worries, and thank you so much for sharing, Alejandro. We appreciate your vulnerability and showing us a little bit more of you and a little bit more of your story. And we know you will do amazing things. We believe in you and seeing, and you know, I was lucky enough to also start at the same time that you started here at USC, and it's been an honor to see you grow despite all the challenges, despite whatever came up, and to see you where you are now. So I hope you know we're all proud of you. And so next up, for our undergraduates, I will not be introducing our undergraduates, but I do have the honor of introducing Alzina. Alzina was our TGS social work intern this year. Usually this role is a role that's reserved for only second year social work students, but Alzina was always ready to step in and help out. She came in second semester, and within the short amount of time that she was here, she was able to help make an impact. And I really want to also make sure to take the time to thank and appreciate her for all the support. So these amazing Zoom backgrounds that you see as well, you can thank her for them. And so Alzina, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you for that. Okay, so our first graduate we have is Audreiel Tackett, and she just received her Bachelor of Arts in Communication. I do not think she is here at this time, but I'm glad we are acknowledging her. Our next graduate is Carol Medina, and she received her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Law and Public Policy as her minor. I also think she didn't get a chance to make it. So our next graduate is Eileen Blankenhaus. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Business. Our next graduate is Hector Garcia. He received his Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. Hector, would you like to take some time to say anything? If not, that's perfect. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So I'm really excited. I'm happy to see a lot of familiar faces. It's been a while. I became quite the hermit, ever since COVID hit. So I've been kind of an MIA, but it's been really difficult. And I just want to say congratulations to everybody that's graduating, and all of you who are also on the path to graduating. Everybody's gonna be going places and doing great things, and I'm just really excited. I was just waiting for that last grade to post, and I saw it, I was like, yes, I'm done. But yeah, I'm so happy for everybody, and yeah, I'm thankful for TGS and other programs like this that help us get through these difficult times that we all been going through. And yeah, I'm proud of all of you, and yeah.
We love you, Hector, so much. I miss your freaking face. We love you.
I got hair now. It grew long.
I love it.
Thank you for that, Hector. Okay, so our next graduate is Matey Roby. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Human Development and Aging. I don't think she was able to make it today, but we wanted to acknowledge her. Our next graduate is Paige Raskin. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Paige, would you like to say anything?
Hi, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't really prepare anything, but I just remember I was a transfer student. I just remember coming to USC to the financial aid office. My financial aid was all messed up, and I was crying thinking like I wouldn't be able to go to college. I hadn't accepted like my acceptances to anywhere else, and I was set on USC, and I found out about TGS and I got involved right away. And I'm just so grateful. I remember all the times I would cry, and Flavio has seen this. I would walk into the office just crying, thinking I couldn't do it. And I just wanted to give up so many times. And all the interns, Alzina, Lauren, how much you guys have helped me. Lauren was last year, and I just wouldn't be able to do everything I did. I got a 4.0. I never thought I would accomplish that. And I'm just so grateful for TGS, like the continuous support. And it didn't really hit me until today that like I'm done and I made it. And I can't believe I made it. And I'm so happy and so emotional. And congrats to everyone else, because it's not easy. It was one of the hardest things I've done in my life. And I'm just so grateful. So congrats, everyone.
We love you. You did it, girl. With that 4.0. Hey.
Thank you for that, Paige. Huge congratulations. And our last graduate is Rocio Romero, and she graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Somatic Arts, Film, and Television. She was also not able to make it, but to acknowledge her as well. So next, I will be introducing Dr. Wendy B. Smith, and I have her bio here, so I will read that. So Dr. Wendy Smith is a retired clinical professor of social work and associate dean of curriculum development and assessment at the University of Southern California, Suzanne Dork Peck School of Social Work. She taught courses on child and adolescent development and social work practice with children, families, and transition age youth. She had a private practice in psychotherapy for over 35 years, specializing in the treatment of individuals, couples, and survivors of child maltreatment. Dr. Smith is one of the founders of the Trojan Guardian Scholars and is the former chair, and now a commissioner on the Los Angeles County Commission for Children and Families. She chairs the board of the directors of the National Foster Youth Institute and serves on the board of other nonprofits that serve vulnerable populations. Dr. Smith's book, Youth Leaving Foster Care, a developmental relationship-based approach to practice, is the text course on social work practice with youth leaving foster care. She has published articles on adolescent brain development, psychotherapy, and virtual social work education, and lectures on child and adolescent development and the effects of trauma and maltreatment. And she is currently writing a book about childhood trauma and juvenile crime based on extensive interviews with formerly incarcerated individuals. So I will hand it off to Dr. Wendy Smith.
Thank you so much for such an extensive introduction. I have the privilege tonight of introducing our student speaker, Christina Ruiz. But before I do that, I just have to say how moving this experience is for me. It's like a dream come true, because when we launched Trojan Guardian Scholars, it shouldn't have been as hard to launch as it was. But seeing all of you and knowing about your success in achieving undergraduate and graduate degrees, and especially all the graduates in social work, I just couldn't be happier. I congratulate all of you. It's a stunning achievement against many odds. I want to tell you things you may not know about Christina, but some of you may know. She is a first-generation graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Public Policy and a Master's in Public Administration. She's a single mother who proudly identifies as a former foster youth, an former incarcerated youth, homeless, and child sex trafficking survivor. She entered foster care as a 2-year-old. And sadly, like so many kids caught up in the system, she faced many forms of abuse when she should have been protected and cared for. Despite her bruising beginning in life and displaying remarkable resiliency, Christina has invested herself in both education and service. While she was at USC, she's had many leadership roles in student government, including serving on the Norman Topping Student Governing Board. In the professional world, Christina has been active as both an educator and a trainer. She serves as a youth representative for the California State Board of Community and Corrections Executive Steering Committee. That's a mouthful. And she is also a policy council representative for the Coordinated Entry System for the LA Homeless Services Authority. Her career goal is to become a political actor, advocating for equal access to higher education for Latino communities and for youth affected by the child welfare and juvenile justice systems. I know you will be as impressed as I am by the path she has chosen and how she has taken painful experiences, as many of you have, and found ways to have positive impact on other young people and on the communities where they live. Her work and her plans are inspiring, and I know she will share some important messages with all of us tonight. Christina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Wendy. That was a extremely formal introduction. I don't know what to say after you talk so highly of myself. I just feel like I'm a normal Joe. But let's go ahead and begin. You know, my name obviously is Christina Ruiz. Actually got changed while I was at USC from my former last name due to foster care and correlation of human trafficking. And that just kind of just sheds light onto who we are as students, right? We are the most diverse of the diverse. And I just want to first begin to like acknowledge the space that this Trojan Guardian Scholarship Program is. This space was created by a former foster youth, by one of us, and by our peer. And over time, through leadership and advocacy, this program has developed and we get to have all of us here today, and it continues to develop. And it's a beautiful thing to see us former foster youth graduate and then contribute back to this very program. And it's just like a 360 moment for all of us. This space is one to be recognized. The space is predominantly shows the resilience that exemplifies throughout this entire campus. There's not many like us on campus, and I know we've all felt that pain of nobody really getting where we come from and what challenges that we have to face at home as being transfer students or being first years and first gens, being in sometimes transitional housing programs or foster youth programs still. And we're that 3% success rate that obtains a bachelor's degree. We are that staggering 1% with their master's degree out of the 500,000 children in the United States. That's us. But we are way more than that. We are way more than just a number. We are survivors of the foster care system, of probation, of homeless systems. We are survivors of trauma, and we have so much endurance inside of us. We do come from those spaces and those terrible situations, but we have not let those systems define us. And that's what makes us who we are. And that's what makes our perspective in psychology and sociology and engineering and all of these different fields that we associate ourselves with. That's what makes us very valuable and makes us an asset wherever we go, because we have such a diverse perspective that is literally a 1%, right? And through time as USC Trojans, we have fought back, right? Through all of this 4, 5, 6, and doctorate 10 years, whatever long it's taken, we've continued to fight back against the people that have oppressed us, these systems. And we are now scholars, real scholars, advocates, researchers, mentors, and we are true Trojans. Our type of Trojan, being a Guardian Scholar, really exemplifies the best of the best that's on campus. And I think we can all agree with that. For me personally, I know it's been a real 360 moment. I literally just hopped on late. I just got done with my last presentation at 6:50, and I made sure that I got here on time. And I, like many of you, I'm getting choked up because I can't believe it's here. And I remember walking into this campus and experiencing what a lot of us experience, imposter syndrome, trying to be something that I thought USC needed me to be like. And it was because I didn't really see people like me that came from my background, that came from our backgrounds, doing what we're doing now. And if it wasn't for mentors and continuous support and guidance, and me really reaching out to people and these resources like the Trojan Guardian Scholars, it uplifted me out of that. And I learned that I am valuable just how I am and who I am and what I'm doing now, and that my skills are going to continue to develop. And I just want to acknowledge that, because I feel like it's probably a collective thing that I know some of you that I talk to have experienced through your guys' educational journey. So through this time at USC and through the Trojan Guardian Scholars program, I've been able to find, most importantly, myself, who I am as a person and what I have to contribute to this society. I have had now a family that I will always have. And I just encourage you all to remember that you really are the best of the best. And don't ever let anybody ever tell you differently. And I know that you all have that inside of you. And I cannot wait to learn. We get these blasts on our TGS of, the twins brought funding to the organization, or so and so is now on a committee or creating a committee. We want to continue hearing these things, and I can't wait till I hear Alejandro, hey, this man just created this, and all these other different advocates that are part of our circle, because this is just the beginning for all of us. So I leave you with always remembering and loving that these statistics that try to define us actually make us extraordinary. Continue to find the support and guidance. Don't ever stop searching for community, and don't ever stop engaging, because we need each other. And always remember that we are really, truly alumni Trojans now. So we will continue to fight on, because it's hard. And it's still hard, and COVID makes it harder, but we're gonna fight on, and I believe in all of you. And it's been such an honor for me to be mentors to some of you, and to really engage in this program and at USC at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina. We really appreciate you being in attendance and giving us a little bit of your wisdom and sharing a little bit of your experience. And I just also want to highlight, I don't know if everybody caught it, but Christina finished a final right before coming to this event. I think that really demonstrates a lot of what I've known Christina to be, and all the hard work that she's doing. She's always finding ways to get involved and continue to get things done. And, you know, I really appreciate you for being here. And also want to remind you that, you know, you and everybody here is rewriting those statistics. So that's something to never miss. And so now I will be closing this out. And so we're closing out the 7th year of our program. And within this program, just like every other class, there's some new way or another in which every graduating class is making history. And we hope to continue seeing that, but we also hope to continue to see the program grow. But that growth isn't just on us as a program, but really on everybody that helps make this program possible. And so with that, I want to take the time and the opportunity to thank everybody that supported us. So definitely want to thank our Darnside technology team. They're always there no matter what. It's been a year plus, and they're making sure that we figure out Zoom, even though it's been a year. Allie, she's here, she's in the background right now, but throughout all of this planning and everything, she was always there just to make sure that we got everything done the right way. Alzina, again, thank you so much for coming in, ready to go. In the middle of second semester, you were just ready to go, ready to learn, and always had a great attitude. Your support is definitely appreciated. Jennifer, thank you so much for getting us our amazing keynote speaker. We look forward to continuing to find other ways to collaborate with you and continuing to provide support for the program. Disha is not officially a part of the program, but she knows she's always involved in some way or another, because any issue I have, she knows I'm going to her anyways. And then Dr. Kimberly Freeman for always making sure that the program continues going, that we continue to do what needs to be done to support our students. Also want to thank Wendy and Beth, who have been longtime supporters of the program and really making sure that the program got started, that the program continues, and that the program continues to build strength. Also want to thank everyone at SCIP. I want to thank all our partners at the cultural centers. I want to thank all of our board members that weren't able to make it here today, but are part of a reason why this program still continues to exist. I want to thank all of our USC partners like the USC Career Center. And I also want to thank our USC community partners such as Foster Nation, Ready to Succeed. But most importantly, I want to take this time to really thank our students. Our students are the reason why we're all here. They're the reason why I get to have one of the best jobs in the entire world. I get the honor of working with them. And so I congratulate you on all your hard work, on all your achievements. I know you will all be doing amazing things. And I am sincerely grateful for the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more, be a part of your journey. You inspire me and motivate me every day. And I look forward to seeing all the amazing things that you all will be doing. And before we close out, you know, usually there's a group picture, so we'll take a group picture on Zoom. Alzina will be taking it away with that. So she'll kind of instruct us on when to get ready. And then after that, we'll leave the room open for the next 30 minutes for anybody that wants to stay back, hang out, catch up, whatever it is. And thank you all for joining us. Alzina.
Okay, so for anybody who feels comfortable, if you guys could like put yourself on camera, I put it in gallery view. That's the only way I really take a picture on Zoom. If anybody else has any suggestions, I'll take them. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the chat box out the way. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take a couple. Okay, so 3, everybody smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you heard my computer. Okay, and then one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there you go. That was it.